Holy shit, what a year. And I thought last year was a great year for indie games, but 2013 proves what I've been saying all along. Indie games have the drive, passion, and imagination that the AAA titles have all but lost over time. This year, we saw games that made us question what a game truly is. A puzzle game that completely defies all puzzle game logic, and a throwback to SNES games of old that completely kicked our ass. And did I fucking love every second of it. 2013 pushed that bar for the quality of indie games, and let's hope that 2014 brings that bar even higher. So, without further ado, I present to you my top 10 indie games of 2013. Number 10, Proteus. Diving into Proteus was an interesting experience, to say the least. It's one of those games that straddles the line between what's a game and what isn't. A line gamers love to sit on either side of and hurl insults and tell each other just how stupid and wrong they are for believing whether a game is or isn't, well, a game. But that didn't stop me from enjoying the hell out of what Proteus was. I kept myself mostly oblivious about what the game was bringing to the table when I went into it, but what I discovered was a whole lot of fun and incredibly relaxing, a trait games are missing more often these days. Proteus isn't about finishing an objective or killing a big bad. It's about exploring a gorgeous 3D pixelated island, enjoying some of the best music games have to offer, and sating your curiosity when you ask yourself, I wonder what's over that next hill. And you know what? Proteus is all the better for it. Number 9, Outlast. Red Barrel Studios had a hell of an uphill battle ahead of them with Outlast. Coming out at roughly the same time as the sequel to the critical and commercial smash success that was Amnesia, the game that utterly redefined the horror experience, success was something that Red Barrel Studios had to earn. Claiming they were going to be the scariest game in existence, all while treading that journalist trapped in an asylum cliche, I had my doubts about the game. And while Outlast's story was certainly on the cliche side, it sure as fuck wasn't afraid to make me shit myself numerous times through the ordeal. For every minor failure Outlast has, it balances and even outweighs it with its benefits. Attention to details such as seeing your character's hand on the door frame while opening it, bringing up your camera to use its night vision to guide you through the dark halls, crawling on your hands and knees to hide under a bed, hoping the thing hunting you doesn't look where you're hiding, all ensure Outlast terrifies you over and over again. And Outlast takes that Amnesia formula and cranks it to 11. Not only did they earn the success, they goddamn won it. Number 8, Gunpoint. Look, I know I'm absolute trash at puzzle games. Seriously, you tell me over and over again. Have you seen my videos? But I really can't help but enjoy them, I'm sorry. Especially when it's wrapped in a really unique and comical spy story. With the ability to rewire alarms, traps, doors, and much more to my advantage, all while having super jumping pants to dive through windows with and dive on top of buildings with, I couldn't put the excellent experience that Gunpoint presented down. And if that weren't enough, the story was molding to the choices I made throughout the game. Hell, you could completely send your spy on the wrong track and allow the criminal more time to prepare for your arrival or even get away. For a game that's relatively short in length, replayability is key, and Gunpoint has it in spades. With a minimalistic art style, I highly suggest you check out Gunpoint. It's super cheap, it's super fun, and it's on Steam right now. Number 7, Eldritch. If there's one thing I can say, or potentially we can say about the indie devs, it's that they absolutely adore the roguelike formula. Seriously, there's no shortage of them this day and age, and in all flavors and colors. From the Zelda-esque style The Binding of Isaac presents, to more classic form of something like Dungeons of Dreadmore. And even fast-paced, Twitch-based gameplay of Teleglitch, you've got your share. But Eldritch brought something a little more unique to the table to shake up that formula, and that was a Lovecraftian world and influence. It's clear on the first level of Eldritch that things were going to be a bit different. The moans of enemies off in the distance, weird statues sitting around reminiscent of the old ones, and incredibly unique items and magic to help you get through, all while not really having much of a soundtrack as far as a musical score is concerned. Eldritch got under my skin more than any roguelike had before. Fear and caution is something inherent to roguelikes, but for totally different reasons than why I had it for Eldritch. In any other, I'm afraid of death and losing progress, but in Eldritch, I was afraid of what was around the next corner. Number 6, Antechamber. Did I mention that I love puzzle games? How about that I'm bad at them? Yeah, that didn't stop me from adoring Antechamber though. In fact, being bad at puzzle games helped me in Antechamber more than any other game, which is kind of bizarre really. And it's hard to describe just what Antechamber is. An exploration and puzzle game, sure, but it's much more than that. It explores just what a puzzle can mean and how they're solved, and then totally reverses that and just throws it out the window. You can't think conventional with Antechamber. You must think outside the box. Sometimes what seems like the most simple solution is the solution, and sometimes turning your back is the only way to move forward. Number 5, Vulgar the Viking. There was a time when I was growing up where games were hard. No, not, oh boy, this sure is hard, better turn down the difficulty a bit and move on kinda hard. I mean, grab me by the ballsack and twist while spitting in my face kind of hard. But even young me somehow managed to beat these games. Classic Mega Man was my bread and butter, but I hadn't realized how much I'd softened up over the years. But fuck if Vulgar wasn't gonna remind me. A mostly naked Viking with a sword fighting off mythical creatures through levels that kick you square between the legs harder and harder as you progress. Vulgar sure is a love letter to those NES and SNES games of old. And I fucking loved it. That sense of accomplishment in modern games is sorely missed and super present in Vulgar. It had me coming back again and again with that just one more try mentality built in. And now that I'm thinking about it, I really want to go play it some more. Kudos. Now can I have my balls back, please?
Vulgar the Viking.
Number 4, Kart Life. Yeah, okay, Kart Life was out as a free game about 2 years ago. I accept that. Now, don't argue with me. 2013 was the year we saw Kart Life hit Steam, and in a big way. It was the year I grabbed hold and played this amazing little indie game. It's amazing that a game about running your own little business and trying to live a normal life was so enthralling, really. A week of the character's life, that's all you get a peek at. And it's your duty as a player to help this person in this week to live the happiest life they possibly can, all while maintaining a regular job and ensuring they have the money to pay rent come Monday, or potentially pay court proceedings, depending on who you play. It sounds menial and boring, and by all accounts it should be, but I couldn't put it down. Truly a game about the human condition, Kart Life tugs at my heartstrings. I wasn't even aware I had those particular heartstrings, and it made for one of the most enjoyable playthroughs of an indie game I had the pleasure of enjoying this year. Number 3, Papers, Please. Speaking of the human condition in heart-wrenching games, number 3 goes to Papers, Please. Another game that should be boring and menial. In Papers, Please, you play as a border patrol, stuck in a booth looking over potential travelers' passports, work papers, special permits, and so on. It's up to you to decide if they can enter the glorious country of Arstotzka. And the more people you process, the more money you make to keep your family fed, warm, and healthy. But as the days go by, the demands of the job become more and more difficult, meaning pushing people through at a steady pace will become more difficult as well. Will you cut corners and let potential terrorists in just to keep your family healthy? Or will you be meticulous to keep the Arstotzkan people safe? Or maybe you'll side with the Arstotzkan sensationalists and try to overthrow the government, but maybe that government might find you out and threaten your family. Is that something you can bear to witness? Go find out in Papers, Please, on Steam now. Number 2, The Stanley Parable. Fuck, is this even a game? Well, I mean, I make some choices. I definitely press buttons too. The narrator's telling me I'm playing a game, in fact. Yeah, that guy's nice. Oh hey, is that a door? Wait, can I go in it? Are you telling me not to go in it? But, dude, it's open. Aren't I allowed? Don't tell me what to do, you beautiful British narrator. Oh look, a new ending. Shit, did I just break the game? Wait, was that Minecraft? Where am I? What am I playing? Who is this Stanley guy? Number 1. Gone Home. This one's gonna ruffle some feathers, but fuck it, I can't help it. This might be the game that drew the line in the sand. On one side, people shout, but it's not a game! And on the other, those that shout, define game! It's a debate that will never be solved, and one I don't tend to want to get involved in. What I am here to say is that Gone Home is a game I won't easily forget. Such a simple premise. A daughter coming home after studying abroad to an empty and unfamiliar house. Her family's missing and she must find out where they went. Exploring and discovering just what happened, all while you put together the pieces just by looking and interacting with the environment. It's haunting, it's lonely, it's beautiful, and it's something that made me just think about humanity and where we are as a society right now. I won't lie, there were man tears. Yes, man tears. But even thinking back now, I can feel that wash of emotion. The happiness, sadness, dread, fear. It's all there. And it's so hard to not talk about the story when naming this as my number 1 indie game of 2013. Not everyone will agree with me, but if you have even the slightest interest in what Gone Home has to offer, go grab the game, turn off the lights, slide on some headphones, and find your family. It's well worth it. Alright, and that's it. Another year in the books, and holy hell was it amazing. I simply can't wait to see what 2014 is going to bring in terms of indie games. And if it's anything like 2013, I'm buckled up and ready. If there's one thing I can be certain about though, is that I'll be there covering it all with the enthusiasm and excitement you can expect and know. But until then, be safe and enjoy 2014. I'll see you guys next year.